สบายจัดมีในเจริญบองมีแต่สบายจัดบ้านตัวสระตัวแสรบ้านตัวเราจะเอ้ยวิญญาณบอง
จัดรำเพิ่มคลั่งไปได้ปะสบายจัดไปได้มีบัตรฉบับนั่นคือสบายจัดคลั่งมีบ้านอะไรแต่มีสายเพียบคือจังแต่ทัวกาไว้เนี่ยบองสบายจัด
พวกยมกระทาฮะพายเชียมีโยบายเวียคือทาฮอทาฉบับนั่นคือลักษณะเวียเรียบร้องโรงไหลน้ำมูทีเลยอันนี้ตามหมดเตะยมอ่ะบทาฮาวิไอหนึ่งชุบบานเม้นวิลอภาษาหนึ่งจีจนไอหนึ่งโรซีบานบ่งแต่บทาฮาวิในตะบันต้อวิเรื่องการทมเตย
ก็รู้สึกดีค่ะเพราะจะได้บ้านเมืองจะได้สงบสุข
This ceasefire, and we have exercised patience for up to 72 hours to ensure the implementation of this ceasefire so that these 12 and 18 individuals can return to Cambodia and reunite with their families and relatives. From now on, what this ceasefire today will do is open the way for our citizens in the conflict areas. Those who have homes along the border areas will have the opportunity to return. They can return to their own homes, resume their livelihoods, and work in their fields and farms, and their families who have children who are able to return can go back to school in the border areas. Another important point is that this agreement does not affect the border demarcation between the two countries. Both parties have also agreed to submit the matter to the Joint Border Commission, also known as JBC, to promptly and effectively resume essential work on the precise demarcation and established boundary line in strict accordance with the existing mutually agreed upon agreements between the two sovereign countries in order to achieve a lasting and enduring peace along our shared border.
Dear members of the press, today I am presiding over the third special session of the TVC meeting together with General Tay Seha, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of National Defense of Cambodia, at the permanent border checkpoint at Ban Phak Kad, Pong Nam Ron District, Chantaburi Province. First of all, I would like to inform you that throughout the period of border clashes, the government and the military have carried out their duties under clear and unwavering principles to protect our sovereignty, the safety of our people, and the honor of our nation. I would like to speak frankly that this situation began with the use of force by the Cambodian side, which resulted in our personnel being injured and killed. Therefore, the military was compelled to respond under the right of self-defense according to international law and strictly in accordance with universal military principles. Regarding the consideration of a ceasefire, Thailand has set out 3 clear conditions to ensure true and lasting peace, as follows. First, there must be an official and sincere declaration of a ceasefire. The Cambodian side announced at the ASEAN Foreign Ministers meeting that they would request a ceasefire starting from the 22nd of December, 2568 at 10 o'clock p.m. without any conditions. However, the Thai side considers that a sustainable ceasefire must result from both parties engaging in sincere dialogue. This is the reason for holding the current TBC meeting and for issuing a joint statement between Thailand and Cambodia to serve as a key principle for genuinely resolving issues between the two countries on a bilateral basis. Secondly, the ceasefire must actually take place and be sustained. Therefore, both sides have jointly established important measures, including both sides are to cease fire starting from 12 o'clock noon today. And the most important point in this joint statement is that both sides must maintain their military forces at the current levels in the area. with no movement or reinforcement of troops towards each other, and no further attacks or provocations. And both sides are to monitor and observe the ceasefire for 72 hours to confirm that the ceasefire is truly in effect and continuous. Only when the situation has calmed down will civilians be able to safely return to their residences. After that, all 18 Cambodian soldiers will be released in accordance with international law, which stipulates that prisoners must be released when hostilities have ended. According to the military operation report, the armed forces have already secured control over key terrain that affects the local population as previously designated. The sacrifice of blood and lives by many Thai soldiers in this operation must not be in vain. At the same time, however, we must also consider other strategic factors, such as the economy, Thailand's image, and our legitimacy on the international stage, which are all extremely important. As the commander, what I am always mindful of is that the lives and blood of soldiers must be sacrificed to protect the sovereignty of the nation. But as someone who was once a soldier myself, I know well that every soldier considers defending the country to be both a duty and the highest honor, even if it means sacrificing their blood and their lives. As for the mechanisms that will lead to actual implementation and the verification of the ballot according to the joint statement, this time they include the ASEAN Observers Committee, or AOT, which is a mechanism under ASEAN cooperation for maintaining regional security, and also the border coordination offices of both countries, which serve as mechanisms at the local level. At the same time, at the policy level, there will be direct communication via a hotline between the ministers of defense and the commanders-in-chief of both sides. In case of necessity, high-level representatives from both parties will visit the area to jointly resolve any issues. In addition, it has been stipulated that the communications teams of both countries will work closely together to prevent misinformation and to provide accurate information to the public. It must be acknowledged that distorted news, fake news, and provocative reports from both sides have consistently made problem solving at every level more difficult. Thirdly, there must be a genuine and sincere intention to resolve the issue of landmines, which is a humanitarian matter that the government has always prioritized. Therefore, both sides have agreed on measures to reduce tensions and have established clear operational mechanisms through the Joint Committee on Humanitarian Mine Clearance, or JCF. This is to ensure that operations are systematic, safe, and transparent. I would like to emphasize that all mines must be cleared completely to make the area safe before any surveys and the establishment of principles can take place. In addition to the three conditions necessary for a genuine and sustained ceasefire, this joint statement also preserves the key elements of the bilateral agreements between Thailand and Cambodia, namely adherence to the Ottawa Convention and the prevention and suppression of transnational crime, cybercrime, and human trafficking, all of which must continue to be addressed on an ongoing basis. To my fellow Thai citizens, I fully understand the feelings of anger, pain, and concern for our nation. Rest assured, the government has never ignored these voices, nor have we underestimated the lessons learned from past losses. I would like to express my utmost respect to every officer who has performed their duties with courage, perseverance, and self-sacrifice, as well as to the families of those who have been injured or lost their lives. Your loss is not just a number in a report, but a direct responsibility of the government to ensure rights, welfare, compensation, and care for the injured and their families in the long term. This also includes seriously, continuously, and urgently considering the care of personnel after combat. I would like to assure the public and all personnel that this ceasefire is an opportunity to address the problem through peaceful means on the diplomatic stage, so that we can work together to resolve the issue once again. The government and the military will closely monitor the situation. Every decision will be made based on facts, upholding the nation's sovereignty and dignity, the safety and peaceful lives of the people. I would like to thank every soldier and all Thai citizens who have stood by the nation and the Thai military with understanding and strength during this crucial time for our country. Thank you very much.